Welcome back. If you followed my show for a while, you will know that I'm all about execution. How to execute at the highest level, how to be a peak performer is all about execution. Well, once you figure out how to execute at the highest level, guess what? I've identified 85 things that can get in the way of your execution. I call them execution killers. Today, I'm going to bring to you execution killer number 9. Stay tuned.
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Thor Conklin here. We give you the tricks, the tips, the tools, the strategy, the technology, and the psychology peak performers use in order to get more done and execute at the highest level. If you know what to do but struggle with getting it all done, or simply want to raise your game to the next level, this podcast is for you. Sit back and enjoy. Execution killer number 9. I must do it versus somebody else doing it for me. You know, it kind of reminds me, reading books, old school. Why should I read my own books? Why shouldn't I have somebody read the books to me? Which brings us to today's sponsor, Audible.com. They're offering listeners to the Peak Performers Podcast a free book download and a 30-day free trial. All you need to do is go to www.audibletrial.com/Peak Performers. You can also find a link in the show notes. Now, look, I've suffered from this just like everybody else, right? As an entrepreneur, what's our mindset? I can do it. I've got this. I'm going to tackle it. I'll break through. Just give it to me. Well, if you get into the mindset and the beliefs of, I'm the only one who can do this, I can do it faster, I don't have the time to teach someone else how to do it, I can do it better, Nike got it wrong, just do it. No, just have somebody else do it. That's what I want to see. I don't want to have to do everything. I want somebody else to do it for me. My new slogan, have someone else do it. 200 years ago, right? We had to do everything for ourselves. We had to plant the fields. We had to take care of the fields. We had to harvest the crops. We had to cook the crops. Look, if we wanted a kitchen table, what did we do? We got some wood and we actually made the table ourselves. We built it. The houses that we lived in, we built those ourselves. Now, take a look around you right now. Look at how many things that you have done by others. Look at all the products, everything around you. The lamp, the computer, the calculator, the phone, the pens, the desk. You name it. The clothes that you're wearing, you didn't sew those yourself. Everything that is around you, somebody else did for you. Okay, so you're already good at having other people do things for you. Unless you built your own house, you built your own car, and the clothes that you're wearing, you actually sewed yourself. But even if you sewed the clothes yourself, I bet you didn't make the thread. And I bet you didn't make the material or the zipper or the buttons. All right, so let's get over it. You were already good at outsourcing things and having other people do it for you. You've got to get out of this mindset of, I've got to do it. Now, we're pretty good at it when it comes to clothes, right? And groceries and building our furniture. But when it comes to our business, we tend to be the ones that want to do it all. This is going to stop your productivity. It's going to stop your expansion, and it's going to limit what you're able to do and what you're able to accomplish. I'm recording this podcast on a Sunday, and I was going through my schedule in the beginning of the day, just kind of getting it ready and trying to figure out what I have to get done today. And I realized, I looked at my calendar, I had 40 things on my calendar. I was sitting here in the living room and I was talking to my girlfriend, and I said, why are there so many things that I need to do and there never seems to be enough hours in the day? Right? Now here's the execution guy, right? The productivity guy asking out loud, why is this happening? It happens to everybody, right? She turns to me and says, it's a choice. You decided to live a productive, active, and full life. There will always be more for you to do, and there will never, ever be enough hours. And wow, that was amazing. I mean, it just kind of hit me. She's absolutely right. It is a choice. And I said, I want to look at my calendar and I want to see today, just today, how many things on my calendar must I do? Or were they put on my calendar by choice? And guess what? Out of the 40 items, guess how many must be done? 0. That's right, 0. Nothing on my calendar must be done. Now, must they be done in order for me to hit my goals and my objectives and my results that I'm looking for? Yes, okay? But none of them have to be done. And it was really interesting. We get caught up into this, I think, philosophy that I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. Nothing had to be done. Not one of them. Look, technically, the only thing I need to do today is breathe and continue to have my heart beat. Eating and drinking water isn't even a necessity. I will live, I will survive to see tomorrow if I don't eat or drink water. So then I looked at the 40 items and I said, okay, how many of these could be done by my team, right? Let's look at them and figure out what am I doing, which I don't need to be doing. And none of them, today at least, could be done by my team. They could not complete 100% of a task involved in any of the items that I had on my list. But something interesting, 9 of them could have been done by my team. They could have moved that particular project or task forward. Now, they couldn't complete it 100%, but they could have made some significant progress, and then I could have finished it. So there are some things on my calendar that didn't need to be on my calendar. So the question that I have for you today, what's on your calendar? Take a look at this week's calendar and take an honest look at it. Figure out how much stuff is on your calendar where you're doing it, but you don't need to be doing it. Someone else could do it for you, either 100% or move it forward for you. You want to be extremely careful at what you say yes to, what you commit to, and make sure that the things that you're spending your time on are the most productive, you're getting the biggest return, and they're things that only you can do. Next time you see somebody wearing a Nike t-shirt, simply go up to them and say, no, don't do it. Find somebody else to do it for you. Have an absolutely amazing week and find ways to get things out of your calendar to free up some time for those things that only you can do.